Prinrin, Ray, and Stephen Marmstein.
Has to be,
If
right?
you're interested in watching the interviews from this video in full,
We gotta
or
have
if
a
you want to
Dan
help
off.
network beyond just a like or subscription, you know where to go. Be well, until next time.
All right, check out this fee thing at the end. Oh, he cut it! Oh, no! Oh my god, he cut it! Oh, is out of characters here? I really want to ask why he cut it. Danny got mad. It was an interesting one because at the very end of the video, Fee goes, I think that a lot of YouTube channels are just producing slop. They have decided that, you know, it's easier to put food on the table by, you know, chasing trends and producing videos instead of making the type of content that's important for the community, right? He didn't say slop. I think he did. I think he actually said the word slop. And I thought that was, first, pretty fucked up of Fee to say as someone who has not uploaded in a year. What the fuck? Why aren't you saving the community? But secondly, I think that is true, but also operates on a presupposition that video essays aren't also slop. You know what I mean? No. It was very interesting to hear. He was like, I think creators need to sit down and think critically about what will improve the community and then make that video. And it was crazy to hear that sentiment, like, from someone who must have recorded this months ago, 4 days after I uploaded, like, here's how to grow the community video. I was like, wow, damn. Did he have advance notice of this? Oh, man. I don't know. I like this video a lot from Out of Characters. Again, I don't want to watch it on stream because I don't want to take views away from Out of Characters. I think they worked extremely hard on this and deserve as much success as this can possibly get. But my general frustration with this video is like, it can't really decide what it wants to be. It starts about being like the consequence of Swiss, and then it's like, just kidding, double elim's also really bad, and it's like, fuck, where do we go from here? It clearly like has been like 6 or 7 different videos over the course of its lifespan. But I think the important part of this one is about how, why can't we translate like stories the same way the Smash community can? And I think that's a really good question. That has so much to do with like the readability of our events, which is mostly what the video is preoccupied with. The stories the thing generates. Coder stops short of saying it, but he comes really close to saying the top players in Yu-Gi-Oh are just really annoying and like, or are either really boring or really annoying, and that's why no one wants to like be like, he's the next Wolfie, he's the next Mango or something like that. But it also is like I think presupposes that I've used that term twice here, please don't kill me, that the only way to make Yu-Gi-Oh have a cultural impact is to make it Smash. It's like someone coming from the Smash pipeline be like, we gotta make this work like Smash. And it's just a hard mold to force it into, because I don't think it can be Smash, you know what I mean? I think it's stupid to be like, why aren't people making transformative epic videos that improve the community? Because it's a card game, it's not that important. I'm sure Defunct Lane can find meaning in commercialized products and produce high effort, high value videos, but that's the exception, not the rule. I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that the way, I don't know, not to talk about improving the community, the goal of MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! The project has always been to shift the culture of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think largely, certainly not exclusively because of myself, but largely the community and culture has shifted pretty immensely. And, you know, I feel confident Fee isn't talking about me in those videos, because all my videos are really good and not slop. I think you could probably characterize the Wonky Quartet stuff as slop, and I think you could probably characterize the videos where I play the new deck on Master Duel as slop. But, like, unfortunately, somehow, 10-minute testing and the 1-minute overviews do provide a really important service for the community that I think is regrettably very necessary. I think that Like, is the progression series slop? I think that's been more important to the continued culture and growth of the community than any video essay that's ever been produced about Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can do this competitive history stuff other than using nostalgic legends. I mean, it's hard to, like, elevate, like, a Jeff Jones figure to, like, H-box status, right? We can't... The closest I think we've ever gotten is Triff. But, like, what do you want, you know? Hmm. Man, I can't believe he cut that. What the fuck? Put that back in.
The information.
Motherfucker, why'd you take it out? That was so interesting.
Sucks.
It's just the case that that there is no way to make this game as readable as something like Smash, right? Master Duel is as close as we've gotten so far.
Playing games in person, locals, regionals, YCSs, it takes a lot of experience to go through it. The amount of effort it actually takes to make these videos is a lot.
That's not true, actually, if you get someone else to make them for you.
There's a underlying problem, I feel like, in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I saw it still exists, which I'm a bit disappointed to see, but 2 years ago when I first started my channel for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creation kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
No one really wants to put a lot of effort into making a
For the sake of not burning bridges, I will not be featuring a video clip here. You can just put up Master Chef.
Single video. They would rather play it safe and, you know, record entertainment content in front of a camera instead of sinking in the extra 4 or 5 days of editing and scripting and researching.
You know, they'd rather do entertainment content instead of taking the extra time to copy a wiki word for word. You know, no, I'm being mean. I think that, to me, it presupposes, third time here, that epic breadtube style Smash documentary ripoffs are more valuable to the community than here's the 10th week of my Iron Man playthrough, you know? I think the big thing is Smash is very readable for casuals, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh! For the absolute casual who barely plays or just knows one deck, it's so unreadable. And I think Master Duel helps a lot with that, but there has to be more. I think that, like, even this video, which took Out of Characters a month, I know because I'm on their Patreon, starts out as, like, 2 different videos. Like, this Guess the Card and Its Consequences was clearly supposed to be, like, the bulk of the video at one point. I don't know. It's a really hard line to toe. This is about as much as I can talk about this video without just literally watching it from point A to point B. But I think it's a really interesting video. It starts by being like, why is Yu-Gi-Oh! Casting so bad? And then it hops to Fee, who's like, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Content is so bad. And then it ends with Fee being like, but Konami is doing the right thing in terms of improving their content by hiring people who are actually interesting. Card games in general suck for readability. I think Out of Characters is in contention with that argument. I think that this is a response to that argument. You know, they do a really good job showing off how Magic the Gathering and Pokemon are really readable and Yu-Gi-Oh! Uniquely isn't. I think the closest thing Yu-Gi-Oh! Has come close to a legend in recent years is Josh versus Jesse's teams at Master Duel Worlds. I hate to be like this. Fi would make a great video on that. Fee could throw together something that would be really interesting. In fact, Fee, if you're watching, please just make that video. All right, let's watch the one I want to watch. Soda TCG. All right, so I was told to watch this Soda TCG video. It's about 20 minutes long. We'll watch it on 1.5, called Why Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutorials Don't Teach Players. And then he did Are Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutorials Bad? Video QA. Watched my video entirely through while fighting with his chat because his chat was like, I hate MBT. And he was like, I have a nuanced critique, you fuck. Listen, I understand hating your chat. I also hate my chat. And then played Magic the Gathering. So let's use you as a thumbnail. No, this is a stream review. I was just on stream when it captured the auto thumb. So I do want to watch this because I think this
Active between
video
the
is
hand.
really interesting,
This-
and this is gonna sound pretty stupid, but I think this video is not a response to my video. I know it's got my video in it, and it's like, this is why this video isn't perfect, but almost immediately pivots away from my video and is about like why Yu-Gi-Oh tutorials writ large don't work, and I think does a good job running into the same problems that this video also ran into. So I don't know. This will become apparent as we click play. So let's do that now.
This is my video about why Yu-Gi-Oh tutorials don't work. If you are a new or aspiring player looking to play Yu-Gi-Oh, the first thing that almost anyone would do for any game is look for a tutorial for how to actually play the game. And when you're looking for tutorials, YouTube almost always stands out as one of the highest quality sites to find a tutorial for any game you may want to play. So when I saw that one of my favorite channels, MBT Yu-Gi-Oh, had recently posted a video called How
You got to get better taste, man.
to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh, I thought it could be a great thing for the community to help introduce new players into the ways to play the modern card game of Yu-Gi-Oh. This was further reinforced when in the first few minutes of the Yu-Gi-Oh video, they stated this.
So today, I'm going to try to teach you both. What follows is an incredibly long and detailed primer on the idiosyncrasies of the card game, alongside an incredibly long and detailed love letter to the people, events, and mythologies that are just as important.
You know, I'm actually happy we started by talking about the out of characters video a little bit, because I think the mythologizing of like Yu-Gi-Oh is important to get people into it. Like, you know, the Smash documentary and the fact that there aren't storylines with response to, you know, the parts of Yu-Gi-Oh that matter. Is a lot of the reason why people feel uncomfortable hopping in. You know, there's no reason to. There's nothing they're going to be privy to. There's no information or inside joke they can then be a part of, right? Again, really weird, the now cut fee discussion, hearing that seconds after uploading this and being like, did he know? Did he get advanced knowledge?
My hope is by the end of this video, you'll not only be an expert at Yu-Gi-Oh!
Looking old
you'll
in
be a
that
fan.
freeze frame. I'm getting old. This shirt, I think, was a bad pick. It doesn't like drape over me very well.
A trusted community figure making a video focused
Trusted community figure. That's not how I would describe myself.
on making a tutorial that'll have people understand the game of Yu-Gi-Oh in the modern year sounds incredible. There's only one real problem that I have with this video and videos of its ilk, and that it absolutely doesn't actually explain at all how to play modern Yu-Gi-Oh. Whilst the beginnings of this video do serve as a pretty good history documentary showing the fundamentals of how Yu-Gi-Oh was started and created, with the original anime showing and the original versions of the game that you could play, such as on Duel Links or on Master Duel, it doesn't really go into any detail about how to actually play the modern game in 2025. It mostly goes through the basic fundamentals of how to start playing the game, how to do things like normal summon, special summon, and how the extra deck works, but it actually doesn't explain anything that any new player is going to need going into a first game of Yu-Gi-Oh they're going to play in paper or on Master Duel. A lot more of this video that is titled How to Play Yu-Gi-Oh ends up being focused on why to play Yu-Gi-Oh, not actually talking about the ways to play.
I mean, we almost named it Why to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! We almost named it Why to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's named How to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! For SEO reasons. It is Why to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes.
The game, but the reasons why you as a person should engage with Yu-Gi-Oh and play with it on some level. Meaning that this preamble that happens later on in the video is actually secondary to the initial question posed in the video.
How and why would anyone ever enjoy this?
Well, don't worry. I'll tell you.
Because the game is fun. That's most of what this video ends up saying about Yu-Gi-Oh as an actual game. It talked a lot about
I don't know if I'd say that. Game is fun. If it was fun, don't you think I'd be playing it on stream? No, this is right. This is correct.
community, about coming together and playing with other people, about introducing new elements. There's a lot of aspects around Yu-Gi-Oh that make it fun. But in terms of actually the reason why people play the game, people play Yu-Gi-Oh because playing with the cards is fun. That's what
Yeah,
most of this
that's
video
true.
boils down to. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh is a really, really big game, which is why making one overarching tutorial to talk about the entire thing is really difficult to do. This video here, How to
also
Play
true.
Yu-Gi-Oh in 3 minutes, made by another popular creator, Simo here, another one of my favorites, is very, very big and is very easy to understand as it simply goes through all the basic elements of Yu-Gi-Oh, like special summoning monsters from the extra deck. And videos like this, I think, are great because they impart a lot of important knowledge that you are absolutely going to have to know to start
I mean, that's why we made the 3-minute one.
playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is a really, really old game, meaning that if you are not only starting the game or starting with some previous knowledge from a previous format, having a quick video to bring you up to speed in terms of what the summoning mechanics are currently present in the game is really important. The amount of things to learn just in terms of summoning monsters onto your side of the field is gargantuan. They have to teach you about normal summons, they have to teach you about normal monsters, they have to teach you about special summons and tribute summons and having monsters with effects on them. They have to teach you about fusion monsters that are present in your fusion deck, which is now called the extra deck because there are other extra deck monsters that are present in it. They have to teach you about ritual monsters, they have to teach you about synchro monsters, they have to teach you about XYZ monsters, they have to teach you about pendulum monsters, and they also have to teach you about link monsters, also that way you can just get a very basic understanding of what you are looking at if your opponent plays down any monster of any of these types.
That's
Most
true.
of these videos also take this time to mention the spell and trap cards and also the different board positions where you can play down spell and trap cards such as Change of Heart here or Mirror Force, how the ways that different spell cards interact on your turn and on your opponent's turn, and how trap cards can only be used on your opponent's turn and cannot be flipped up right away on your turn. And here's where one of the main pitfalls that almost all of the Yu-Gi-Oh tutorials falls into comes up, which is the different levels of importance in terms of all of the different card types. Because all of these mechanics are communicated as equal as you want to get through as many of them as possible so that you can get down all of the information that is present in Yu-Gi-Oh as quickly as you can, it is really hard for you as a new player to intuit which of these mechanics are going to be present in every single one of your games and which of these mechanics are something you'll only see once in a blue moon. Just for example here, many of the videos that are tutorials for Yu-Gi-Oh will talk about flip monsters and effect monsters that have quick effects that you can activate from the hand. As a new player, it is really hard for you to differentiate without any baseline of anything which one of these monsters you are going to be seeing more often in the game.
Okay, so I talked about this a little bit on Monday, but I want to put it here as like part of the larger discussion of this video. So originally, one of my big criticisms of Yu-Gi-Oh tutorials is like, and it comes out in the script just a little bit, especially early, where I'm like, if you watched that previous video where I told you like, oh, make sure to put monsters with high attack in your deck so that they can get over your opponent's monsters, you might be like, oh, then I need to play Gemini Elf in case my opponent is packing Lodge in, right? Like, not necessarily a discussion that you really ever need to engage with in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, right? But the problem here, when it comes to being like, some effects are more important than others, is that it's not always true. Like, it's very changeable. One thing that Yu-Gi-Oh is really good at is looking at a significant amount of like underused archetypes and underused summoning conditions and shit, and being like, oh, we can push design space on these because they're bad, right? Like in this format where the top decks are like branded Draco Tail, you know, K9, Mitsu Yummy, you are probably more likely to see a ritual monster than like a link monster, right? You're seeing one link monster mostly. It's a fucking you're seeing Rocket the Vanquisher, Yummy Snatchy, Saruya, like, you know. So what am I supposed to do when it comes to like the thing that made me back off this and treat them all as equally important is that we had like, you don't have to worry too much about ritual monsters in the video. And then by the time it got closer to production, it was like, not only do you have to worry about ritual monsters, you will probably encounter them most games, you know? And that's been true of every one of these. Like, flip monsters have been powerful. Imagine being like, you know, you're going to have to be able to understand the intricacies of flip monsters and monsters that have an effect when they are flipped with respect to the Enacraft deck, right? You are going to have to understand flip monsters for Guru, you know, when that was popular. And it's not outside the realm of possibility that you'll have to worry about it again when Shadal comes stateside, right? So it's hard to be like, oh, don't worry about equip spells. And then they print Isold and you're like, fuck, okay, equip spells are a lot more, you know, prevalent than, you know, a counter trap, for instance.
Thanks to the fact that many of Yu-Gi-Oh's mechanics have massively different impacts on the game. For example, quick effect monsters in the hand are basically seen in almost every single match of modern Yu-Gi-Oh that is played, whereas flip monsters are extremely niche and will almost never be seen. It is really, really hard when you're a new player that is going in after just watching the tutorial to understand which of the parts of the tutorial are really important to keep in mind for when they're playing the game, and which of them can be almost completely discarded except for niche scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, I get we should have put in a part about hand traps. Just like there are now hand traps, the part of the video. But certainly, I think this is something that's changeable, unfortunately.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall, as a game that has been around for so long, is absolutely full of fluff and has done almost nothing to chip away at the massive amount of knowledge that may be present in a single game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not to say this is a bad thing, there are plenty of games that are full of a ton of complex mechanics that help add to the
God, rotation, man. There's so much just residual shit.
Complexity of the game. However, most games like Magic the Gathering have done special things to set these things aside for new players when they're trying to understand the game on a fundamental level.
Magic the Gathering did it by making a format called Commander, where you don't actually have to know how to play Magic the Gathering at all.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic are both full of tons of mechanics that you may only see one match in 100 or even less than that, and you'll have to have an understanding of what the mechanic is when it comes up. However, Magic has done a lot of things like making these aspects less playable, adding in set rotation, and making it so that way many mechanics are packaged together, meaning they all rotate out at the same time, to make it a lot easier for a new player to only have to remember really crucial mechanics. If you look at Tevel here, this is a really, really good example of a card that shows what different aspects of Magic's cards need to be remembered and which ones don't. Things like Flying and Lifelink are something that almost all new players will almost immediately learn after playing through the tutorial, and therefore do not have to have reminder text placed on them so you can have an understanding. However, because of the mechanic Delve being very infrequently played and not seen except at the very, very high levels of powerful formats, the reminder text is added onto it so that way new players will not have to guess as to what the mechanic Delve actually does. This is made even
I mean, this is a classic thing Magic's fucking up, though.
worse in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there is basically no downtime in Yu-Gi-Oh!
The
Giving
ring
you to
tempts
think about
you.
what you want to do. Almost all the games end in a very small amount of turns, and almost all of the time you are performing actions during those turns, which is a lot of fun for players who understand the game, but is extremely difficult for players who do not understand the game. Thanks to the fact that even the most basic of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards used to start off combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have massive walls of text on them that may require multiple readings, it is very, very difficult for a new player to get a grasp on what basically any card does in the very early games of Yu-Gi-Oh! This means that it is really, really hard for you to learn anything during a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Meaning that you have to basically learn all the mechanics up front before you actually go in to play an actual game of Ugyu. This is further compounded by the fact that there were many archetypes that you may not have encountered or played against that your opponent could be playing that therefore ask you the question, hey, do you understand how flip monsters work, even though they haven't really been relevant for a long time? I'm playing a gimmicky Mimikul deck that you may not understand, and it has to react with flip cards that go to your side of the field, and you have to understand the way that those...
To be clear, the reason we do 1 minute overview is for this, so that if you're encountering a deck for the first time, you can pull up something on your phone, it'll tell you their mainline combo, and you can go, okay, I now understand your stupid gimmick deck. Like when the Out of Characters video says stuff that will improve the community and the culture, that's the type of stuff that I was like, that's what the shorts are for.
Those kind of cards work in this deck. Ritual monsters are a great example of this. They have been relatively weak throughout almost all of Yu-Gi-Oh's lifetime, meaning that if you were a new player, you wouldn't have to add this one thing to your mental stack. Understanding a ritual monster wasn't that important because you were very unlikely to run into it. But because of the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh keeps growing and growing, gaining new mechanics and reintroducing old ones, ritual monsters are now something that every single player will be forced to have an understanding of and how to play against. Many people...
Yeah, I mean that's also an argument against the previous one. It's like it's really hard to prioritize certain effects when something like that just can happen.
People who play Yu-Gi-Oh have just told me this. It'll become a lot simpler if you just play a few games to try to get an understanding for it. Maybe we can't really explain everything to you up front because there's simply too much information to be front-loaded in
Okay, this is not true at all.
a game of Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, if you just play a few games, get a basic understanding of how your decks work, slowly you will gain an understanding of how every deck works. First off, this is just not functional as a tutorial. Almost every single game in the world, if you just play it enough, you'll eventually gain an understanding of how it works just by reading the cards over and over again, like if you were doing a test. But that is really not what you want to do if you are making a tutorial for how to get people into your game. This also works a lot better for games that are really easy to understand. In a game like Magic, most of the powerful cards have 1 to 2 abilities and a basic amount of stats and a cost. There's really not that much on the card for you to read to understand, even at the highest levels of play. This can also be solved
Well, in standard.
by making the game really casual. If you're playing a game where you're not trying to win or actively working against a clock or an opponent, it'll be a lot easier if your opponent plays down a card with a ton of text on it for you to just ask, hey, what does that do? And then because you're playing in a cooperative environment, there is no reason for your opponent to lie or take advantage of you or kind of trick you in terms of what their card actually does.
Oh my god, what does that do is the most annoying thing people ever ask me. They're like, what's that do? And I go, well, I'm gonna have to tell you 2 paragraphs of text. I've started just reading it back at them.
Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have either of these. Almost all of the Yu-Gi-Oh formats are 1v1, meaning it is actively in your opponent's advantage if you don't understand the cards that they use, because then they can use them in ways that you don't understand or can take advantage of your lack of knowledge. That's a lot of where the skill of Yu-Gi-Oh comes from, taking advantage of knowledge that you have that your opponent lacks. Not to mention that you're going to read absolutely an astounding number of words more if you are new to Yu-Gi-Oh than if you are new to almost any other card game on the market.
That is
Even
true.
the basic cards that are present in Yu-Gi-Oh's combos have a larger wall of text that you may have to read multiple times to get an understanding of what the card does, not only while it's in play, but when it's
Okay. I can't prove this, but I think what's happened is they've gotten the backup Adagnister from Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. So the reason that at is so big is because on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck, it says at. So I think that they covered it with an actual at.
in your opponent's hand or in the graveyard or being used for something like a synchro summon. As a new player, if you're going and entering a tournament for the first time, there are almost no safety nets there for you to be able to understand how to play the game on a fundamental level, other than just simply asking your opponent to explain every card they play, and then you having an understanding of what that actually means in the game from what you've seen from the very, very limited experience you have playing the game. A lot of these problems can be traced back to the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh only has one main lane to play, which is just 1v1 against your opponent in the most common standard format. There are technically other versions of this format that are present in Yu-Gi-Oh, but these are more as a fact of the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh has to have these formats rather than they want to. The 3 different formats are the TCG, the OCG, and Master Duel, which all have different ban lists and different versions of cards which are legal in the game. This is more because of the fact that cards are released at a different time in Japan than they do in America, and it takes an amount of time for Yu-Gi-Oh developers to add the cards into Master Duel, meaning that it's more of a forced version from Konami rather than
It's because Japan releases the cards earlier, TCG gets the cards later, and Master Duel has to get all the cards by the CEO of Master Duel, Hitler, who takes a long time to read.
than a choice by them specifically. MBT's video actually illustrates a really important point about the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, talking about both Master Duel and Duel Links, 2 different versions of Yu-Gi-Oh which can be played on your phone or online, a different version of Yu-Gi-Oh that is completely separate from the regular game that lots of people got into because of the fact that it is associated with Yu-Gi-Oh. Both of these games provide something that is really, really important when you're introducing a new player into your game, and that's by providing a very much less hostile environment for someone.
It's crazy. I legitimately am like, I think that Duel Links was better for getting people back into Yu-Gi-Oh than Master Duel. I do. Oh, you found it. It's from Master Duel Meta. You're a genius.
To get into your game. It can be extremely intimidating to go down to a local game store, sit amongst a bunch of people you've literally never talked to before, and then just hope that you can ask any of them, hey, how does this work? How do you play this card? How does this mechanic work? A lot of them may not be willing to help you, or it may just be scary for you as a stranger to walk up to random other strangers and hope for them to help you. This is why it is so important to have single-player ways to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, like Duel Links or Master Duel. It makes it way, way less intimidating for a new player to get into your game if they can play it for themselves for a bit to understand not only if it is for them, but if they want to join the community. Making the game more accessible for players not only makes it easier for new players to start playing the game and get an understanding of how the game is played, but also makes it way, way less intimidating for you to go out completely on your own and try to find a way to play this game by yourself. I mean, hell, Magic in 2019 released Duels of the Planeswalkers for consoles and for PC, giving you an easy way for you to learn how to play Magic the Gathering all the way back in 2009 on the easiest way you could if you had an Xbox or a PlayStation. This is why having these cheap or free versions of the game is so important. It's really hard to recommend a game to someone if you not only need an entire teacher there to basically instruct you on how to play the game on a fundamental level, but you also need to shell out a significant amount of money before you even understand how to play the game. It's a really, really high barrier of entry for almost every single player trying to get into Yu-Gi-Oh for the first time. A lot of these issues do arise from the fact that it is only one main playable format that is present in Yu-Gi-Oh, meaning that everyone has to learn the same way for the first time if you want to play in any Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and you can see a lot of this reflected in the way that the community treats the standard format. Thanks to the fact that there is very little diversity in terms of what is actually playable in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh format, having to play against multiple of the same decks over and over again, very powerful decks from the new archetypes that are released until new archetypes come out to replace those old ones from the previous packs, it is very, very common for Yu-Gi-Oh content creators and players to build community versions of different formats so that way they can play something separate from the main game.
This is interesting. It is. We've kind of gotten on a tangent at this point, but it is funny to be like, there are a lot of people who know more about Master Saga or Progression than the TCG.
MBT, for example, as we saw before, has this time machine format he's been playing with his friends where they go back in time
I don't think I'd call it a format.
and play older versions of different decks which were only present in certain years, 2008 for example, giving you a much different experience from the modern Yu-Gi-Oh of today. Simo takes the modern Yu-Gi-Oh of today and gives it a different spin, having a masochist series where he's only allowed to play with a very limited amount of cards and only gives himself new cards after he wins, making it a very, very different feeling experience where you are more often expected to lose a game of Yu-Gi-Oh than you are to win when climbing on the ladder. Farfa, another popular creator, has a draft tournament here where you do a different version of drafting, which is something that is very present
Why is that freaking white guy in both of these?
in Magic as a common way to play the game. However, it's completely foreign
By the
to a
way,
Yu-Gi-Oh player, meaning
You'll notice that only one of the three people on this video have pronouns. Woke is coming back, folks.
that if you want to do some sort of
Farfa, what are your pronouns? Hold up, actually. Let me get on Farfa's ass.
draft, you have to implement it yourself amongst friends without any outside assistance from Konami. Now, I will mention, while all of these do seem like much more fun ways to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh than actually playing the modern format, in my opinion, it is not completely impossible for you to come up with a way to play the modern game on YouTube and have success or a good time. Many popular YouTube channels like Team Samurai X, Team APS, or Joshua Schmidt all make content that is not only talking about the way the modern card game is played, but actually uploading versions of themselves playing the modern card game with different decks and different ways of playing the game.
I'm sorry. When was the last time Team APS uploaded a video of them playing current?
But even all of these channels feel a chafing underneath these restrictions, a need for more. They all post different videos talking about things like ban lists or different versions of the game, such as the Genesis format. They all feel a need to have other versions of the content just because the basic card game of Yu-Gi-Oh is too small for a single content creator to focus on.
That's
now,
true.
a lot of you may look at this and say, hey, you're just putting your faith as a player in the community to make different formats for you to play and different things that are fun. Is that such a bad thing? And I would say no. It's definitely not a bad thing. In fact, it's an incredible thing to have.
No,
in the
look at
community
Edison,
putting themselves
right?
together to make new formats and new ways to play the game. If there's anything that I want you to take away from MBT's How to Play video, it's not actually how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but how incredible of a Yu-Gi-Oh community has been formed over all of these years of playing the card game.
That's what I want you to take away as well.
My favorite example of this is definitely Jeff Leonard, a person who started playing Yu-Gi-Oh with his kid and wanted to have an understanding of how to play Yu-Gi-Oh together with his son, who plays in many tournaments and is always a pleasure to see doing well. The most surprising thing is that Jeff Leonard plays Mystic Mind and Exodia the Forbidden One, extremely toxic strategy focused on stopping your opponent from being able to play at all by either winning the game as immediately early as possible with the effect of Exodia or locking them out completely with Mystic Mind. The fact that this guy is still loved in the community is a really, really good sign for Yu-Gi-Oh, as they show that the person playing the game is much more important than the deck they are playing. All of this stuff is great and a good reason to get into Yu-Gi-Oh,
He
but
didn't say
it
popular, he
shouldn't
said
be mandatory.
toxic.
Even if I do think that you can put faith into the Yu-Gi-Oh community, it shouldn't be absolutely mandatory if you want to learn how to play the game that you trust the community to show you a good time. Obviously, it's a good sign, but the problem is that depending on where you are playing Yu-Gi-Oh can make it have a vastly different experience for you. If your local Yu-Gi-Oh community is really hostile towards you, hostile towards new players, there's almost nothing you can do in terms of playing the game other than literally move your location to a different store or a different country or a different city. This is part of the reason I think Duel Links and Master Duels were such big steps in the right direction for Yu-Gi-Oh. They give you a single-player way to play the game and gain an understanding of Yu-Gi-Oh, meaning that even if your local community is hostile towards Yu-Gi-Oh as a game or towards you as a player, you can still find a way to play the game on your own terms and have a good time. Hell, the Yu-Gi-Oh community itself has for years been making their own versions of these, such as Edo Pro and Dueling Book, which allow you to play Yu-Gi-Oh as the modern game is played by yourself, just online against random opponents.
I'm a little this is another video that I feel just ends up a little aimless. Like we're now like, yeah, you know, there's only one way to play, but sometimes the community has made other ways to play, and it's like, yes, that's true. And you know, the like your mileage may vary based on if the people around you suck is true for all games.
All these ways, Master Duel, Duel Links, Edo Pro, Dueling Book, I think they're all great ways to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but the problem is they all don't feature a tutorial, a basic way to get you into the game, meaning that if you get into one of these, it is more than likely that somebody else introduced you to the game
There
rather
we
than
go.
the game bringing you in on its own terms. At this point,
Although Duel Links does have a tutorial.
it's pretty obvious that Konami is much less than helpful in terms of bringing new players into the game.
Okay, I do want to say this. It's not for lack of trying. They're trying. Speed Duel was meant to be an introductory product. Duel Links is of course an introductory product. The 2-player starters were supposed to be an introductory product. It's just like, how do you get people into this, man?
The only tutorial that you can currently find from Konami to actually teach you how to play the game is the one that is present in Master Duel, which is woefully inaccurate in terms of not only how the game is played, but what you're going to need to know to be able to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! This combined with the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Consistently changes the rules, meaning that if you even learn the game as little as 5 years ago, the rules are completely different from the way you used to play the game, makes it very, very hard for players to get into the game, even
I guess that's true with respect to the EMZ.
if you already knew how to play the game maybe 5 or 10 years ago. This stacks on top of the fact that they never let anything go from those 5, 10, 20 years ago of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s gameplay. Thanks to the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has no form of set rotation or any
Well, they let the EMZ go.
way to remove previous mechanics from Yu-Gi-Oh! Things like counter traps still remain present in the game even to this day, even though they were only really relevant very, very long ago and see much, much less play than they would back in the day when Solemn Judgment was one of the best cards in the game. Things like tuners, for example, need to be explained
Some
to
Judgment's still one of the best cards in the game.
literally every single player, just because even if you don't have any synchros in your deck and don't have any intention of using any synchro monsters at all, if your opponent plays a tuner monster, they will need to explain to you how tuners work if they plan on making any synchro summoning in their deck. Thanks to the fact that there's already so many mechanics, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very obviously not intent on cutting almost anything from the previous 20 years, Yu-Gi-Oh! Will never ever get simpler and will only ever get more difficult for new players to get into. This is a lot of the reason why Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutorials are getting more and more bloated over time. While it would be pretty easy to make a relatively simple tutorial for Yu-Gi-Oh! With very, very few mechanics in it, because of the fact that every single mechanic has to stack on top of every other mechanic, almost everything needs to be explained. As much as Yu-Gi-Oh! Wants to remove Pendulum from the game, they simply can't because they have made it a pact with themselves to never ever remove any element from the modern game. And that sucks, because I really do want to recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion, out of all the major card games, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has probably the coolest anime and coolest card aesthetic out of any of the games on the market. There's a reason things like Exodia, things like Dark Magician, and things like Blue Eyes White Dragon still resonate even today, and people still know about them even as Yu-Gi-Oh! Has continued on and transformed vastly from the very early years of the game. But if you're a fan of other card games, I find it really difficult to recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! To you if you're a fan of almost any other card game on the market. There is simply no other game that has at all similar mechanics to the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Is played in its modern format, and explaining it to a person was something that would take so much time that is often not worth their time for me to do it, meaning that they would have to find somebody else who's willing to sit down for multiple hours to teach someone how to play the game. This gets even worse if you're an old fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I mean, right? Like, that's kind of the point of making the video. I know the thing is, like, the video here is like, it's a fool's errand to try and make a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutorial, and it's like, well,
Having players that used to play in the games where Gemini Elf was the best card in the game and having to bring them all the way up to understanding the way that Link monsters work is a massive multi-year walking process where you
well, here's the good news. You can ignore Link Cross.
have to go through every single mechanic that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has had implemented in over 20 odd years. Not to mention the fact that even if you started on later in this process, maybe you're familiar with Synchros, XYZs, maybe you're familiar with Pendulum monsters, you still need to not only re-explain what all the newer monsters were and how the old monsters have changed over time, such as rituals or fusion monsters not needing polymerization, but then you also need to explain all of the different rule changes that happen to the board and the game as a whole. I think it's pretty needless to say, but if you need a multi-day tutorial to teach a person how to even begin playing your game, even if they have already played that exact same game many years ago, there is definitely something that has gone wrong with all of the tutorials present in the game.
It's really weird that the conclusion of this one is, why don't Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutorials teach players? Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is bad.
This is why I think this MBT video disappointed me so much. We really need a real tutorial. A true how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! That doesn't just explain how the game got to where it is and what the different basic mechanics of the game are, but one that generally understands and explains to you as a player what you are going to need to do if you want to go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Tomorrow at your LGS. I'm sick and tired of looking at different tutorial videos where they just show you how to normal summon Celtic Guardian as the introduction to how normal summoning works, as that is something that you will simply never be doing in a modern game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We need a way to explain the modern game to new players so that way they can walk into Yu-Gi-Oh! And have a good expectation of what their first game is actually going to look like. Start off by talking about hand traps and giving a player an introduction to how hand traps work and how important it is if you are going first versus going second in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! This will help them have a more prepared experience for when they go into that first game and may have a game where they play literally no cards. Have a guide starting off with modern combo starter card that you will be seeing from game after game. Almost every archetype has a card that is played as a 3-up that you will commonly play down to start by searching your deck, getting your combo starters, and getting into your main deck engine. This is
I mean, that changes format to format, though. That's why we were so scared of doing that. Is like, yeah, Cupsy Yummy exists now, but
something that is really important to understand if you are starting out in Yu-Gi-Oh! So you can understand even what you were looking at when you were starting the game. Explain not only the massive wall attacks that is present on almost every single card, but also dumbing it down in a way where even if you don't understand what all of the card means, you can get a general gist of what the card does by just skimming it over the first time and reading, oh, when this card is normal summon, search your deck for a blah.
sorry, that is actually just bad. You shouldn't teach people to do that. You should you should read the entire card closely. Like, I guess maybe you should be like, you should be cognizant of the fact that it's going to take you a long time to read these cards, but you should read all these cards.
And also explain the most core element that is present in Yu-Gi-Oh! That I see talked about way too infrequently, which is archetypes. A way to explain
Definitely should have done a thing on archetypes, yeah.
what different archetypes do and focus on, so that way you can differently segment different ways of summoning cards, such as fusion summoning, ritual summoning, synchro summoning. If you know what different decks are capable or intend to do different versions of different summoning elements, it can be a lot easier for you as a player to segment which different parts of the game you need to be paying attention to in any game. If you're playing against Draco Tail, you're going to need to worry a bit about fusion summoning. If you're playing against Misurugi, you'll have to worry about rituals, etc. By actually explaining what may happen when you go into a modern game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
But again, what does that matter? You know? If I read this and I go, oh yes, this is an archetype that does link summoning. Oh yes, this is an archetype that has contact fusions. They're just different colors of combo.
modernly prepared deck, you can get a pretty big
No, I need to worry about rituals this game.
basic understanding of cards and play patterns that you will be seeing over and over again, making it much, much easier for a new player to gain a basic understanding of what is going on in a game just at a glance.
But that gets outdated so quickly. By the time when we were first writing it, it was full of stuff about like snake eyes and shit. There's references in the like. I understand that he's like, you know, you shouldn't normal summon Celtic Guardian, and I think we do at one point because it's funny. But we do show off like in the chain blocking section, we're like, here's how a sword soul combo works. Here's why the chain is ordered that way. Like, I feel like the video does do that.
Of course, that's just hopes for me, as most of the tutorials nowadays don't really have anything of that ilk. If you would like to see me make one, let me know down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe while you're down there. And also let me know if I missed out on any tutorials that do a better job explaining than the ones that I have seen on my homepage for Yu-Gi-Oh! I spent a lot of time in this video looking around, seeing if I could find any tutorial that I deemed adequate in terms of teaching players how to start playing the game, and simply none of them stood up to snuff. If you want me to try to make that video, let me know down in the comments below. I've also started a Patreon. I had it for a while. However, I haven't shouted it out on my main channel as I simply didn't have any patrons. So if you want to support me, you can head over to Patreon and subscribe. Just giving me a few dollars every month will help a lot in terms of me making these videos more consistently. For now, I would just like to thank Captain Pancake for helping make this video possible. And if you have any more recommendations for future videos or future things that we'd like to receive as Patreon benefits, you can let me know in the comments on Patreon. Like I said earlier, remember to subscribe. A large portion of my audience isn't actually subscribed to me as they just watch my videos.
There is no way that's the graph. Sorry, there's just no fucking way that's the graph. I just don't... Does he have like a 10 million view video that no one subscribed for? Oh, he actually does.
Videos on the side or while they're asleep, so if you can leave subscribe, it would really help my channel boost in the YouTube algorithm a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
I don't know. I do agree with the premise, which is I think, oh man, this is one of those videos that's just about too much, which I know because I keep making videos that are about too much. But this is one of those videos that's just about too much, and skipping over this like, here's what standard is, here's what progression is. I think I could distill the argument down to, while the MBT video purports to be a tutorial for new players, King Kurimzan, it doesn't do a good job preparing players for understanding the realities of modern card design, which by and large are hand traps, one-card sharders, and like known combos hitting each other, which I think is a fine criticism. I think like definitely I could have been like, realistically, you're going to have to worry about hand traps, one-card sharders, and combos. But I legitimately am just too afraid that that won't always be true. That like, even these days, I would have a hard time being like, hand traps trade. If I had made this video like 4 years ago, I would have been like, a lot of hand traps just trade 1 for 1. You can think of them as individual points of negation, imperms, and availers. Because now the powerful hand traps are the ones that apply a lingering effect to both players. So would I say, you know, hand traps largely constrain people's abilities to pop off, and they're used in order to generate multiple cards of advantage off of a single one? I don't know. But hand traps are always relevant, though. I mean, it is true that there are always cards whose effects can be activated in the hand during your opponent's turn. That is definitely the case. Just say hand traps are used to say no to your opponent. No, dude, I want to be precise. I don't know. I think that I think this is a reasonable ask. But I also am concerned being like, yeah, I mean, we're going to teach you to skim cards. It's like, you shouldn't be teaching new players to do that. Unfortunately, I think the end goal is like, I just have more faith in potential Yu-Gi-Oh players, right? If you click on a video and you're willing to watch a 90-minute tutorial, I have more faith in you than you're going to get bored halfway through reading Cupsy Yummy. I think I have to be like, if you have signed on to the duration, you will pay attention. And we tried to make it so that if you are playing a game, you can kind of cross-reference the how to play using the timestamps. God knows if the timestamps are still working, but we'll see. Let's see what the comments look like. Can't wait to this to get reacted to by half the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Got me. Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten to the point where we need an actual dual academy. All right, hear me out. Walk through a Magic Key combo explaining each mechanic as it comes up. Well, you're never going to get to links, right? Learning Yu-Gi-Oh, quite frankly, is similar to teaching a MOBA. That's pretty true. If you're writing a tutorial and you start off with the history of, you've already failed. People hate that the tutorial is also a history lesson. Cannot stand it. Kodak, my beloved. Here are the 7 deadly sins. The first is rotation. What I've always wanted from a Yu-Gi-Oh tutorial video is a primer on how to understand unfamiliar decks and work through combos. What? This is really a situation where if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. You, sir, Soda TCG, have the ability to do it yourself at a very digestible and high quality. No, he doesn't. He doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, man. This fucking person... Supa Nindo. Maybe I'm crazy, but the journey you have to go through to understand how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of why I love it so much. The game captivates me with its absolute wackiness. Correct, man. Absolutely right. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. That's sink cost fallacy. Oh, man. That actually is sink cost fallacy. It's aesthetic. An ascetic is someone who goes and lives alone in the wilderness. Minor spelling mistake. Ugh. I agree with the point the video has, but the problem I have with the point described in 2054 is I'm not sure anyone is willing to remake the Yu-Gi-Oh tutorial every 3 months due to the fact that every time a new deck displaces an old one, its one-card starters become more powerful and fundamentally alter the way we play the game. Sure, this is Konami's fault, but I can't blame someone going, it's too much effort, and if content creation is my main source of income, it's not economically viable to do this. I think that... is true. Maybe every couple of months we'll do a an addendum. You can't teach someone a fighting game by saying, use the stick to move, here are your attack buttons, oh, you can dash. Yeah. The MBT video also has the problem where it doesn't show or tell you the card text on the cards he uses as examples. When he explains missing the timing, he uses Dupe Frog as an example, but because he doesn't show or say the text of Dupe Frog, I was still confused? Sorry, am I crazy? Hold up. I'm gonna go crazy. I feel like I do. Because I feel like this was a note we got early on, and oh good, the timestamps are working again. Card games for lawyers.
The latter 3 aren't particularly. Dupe Frog to explain. Dupe Frog is on your side of the field. You activate Pot of Greed, and your opponent chains Raigeki Break, targeting your Dupe Frog. You resolve the chain, and looky there, Dupe Frog is in the graveyard. Time to search. Well, not so fast. At the point that Dupe Frog went to the graveyard, you were still resolving the effect of Pot of Greed. He missed his chance. And the timing.
Am I crazy, right? I guess it could be up there for longer.
Okay, well, what if instead he's minding his own business when your opponent instead fires a
Soul fucker. That's okay. I mean, it did take a while to get there. Too fast.
Taker. Destroyed, so let's search again, right? Like normal spells. We once again return to the battle step. The damage step plays a finicky role in...
People skipped... Oh, people didn't skip the damage step. They skipped to the damage step to watch the Alex interview.
With clever use of your points of interaction, you can manage your individual negation in such a way that your opponent's responses are very limited. Oh my
This had nothing to do with the damage step, by the way. We were just like, this is a funny ass clip.
God! It impacts card quality too. Cards like back to the battle phase.
All right. Oh, I'm glad the I was so mad that these broke. Like, I want people to be able to go back and be like, fuck, I think I forgot something about trap cards. Oh, cool. Here's the trap card
Let's
section.
talk about trap cards.
Yeah, here's the trap card section. Fuck, I forgot, like, conjunctives and shit. Oh, cool. They're right here in the
anytime you're
effects
just fucking
section.
around and could theoretically set a card or something. Note about costs.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, I forgot about the Farfa interview. Let me get to the Farfa interview. Ah, it's me, Farfa. Why does legendary BB No Money monster BB Lizard on Cold Island full song My Singing Monsters keep showing up in my fucking recommendeds? All right, let's do the Twitter thread.
If you put a potato in the freezer overnight, then defrost it, squeeze all of the water out of it, peel the skin, split it in half, season it, and bake it. It turns into a texture that I've never tasted before in a potato.
And I never will, because I'm not doing that shit. All right, let's do Rule 34. All right, what are we fucking with? Dorumon or Zdridra from Helltaker? Fuck. Probably Helltaker. Gotta be Helltaker, right? Just no shot it's not Helltaker. What a Digimon. Okay, thank God. Wow, only by a little. Bayleaf or Cinderella? Probably Bayleaf. Cinderella, though. That's a big princess. Bayleaf's a middle Evo. Oh, just barely edged it out. Holy shit. Nidalee or Senna? Not close. Lynx or Gilgamesh? Oh, shit. Well, Gilgamesh is a man. I'm going to say Lynx. Yeah, okay. Tokage Setsuna or Noir from Nikkei. I don't know who Tokage Setsuna is. I'm going to look her up. Tokage Setsuna. All right. Setsuna is a wildly wily girl. And she is 15 years old. That's a toughie. Noir. All right. Oh, another close one. What is going on today? Vados or Kirito? Kirito, he's always getting cucked. No! Kremling or Himiko? Kremling. I picked the other one by accident. I don't know. Saji. Why not? I don't fucking Marionette from FNAF. Fucking jacking off to the Marionette from FNAF. Infernape. No, apparently this is like the greatest goon of all time. God damn it. All right. Scrandle. I'm gonna say pork. All right, let's fuck it up, baby. Sausage water or dude, what the fuck is sausage water? I'm gonna pick the cheesy chips. I mean, what did you expect? They're both terrible. Loaded roast potatoes or what the fuck is that? Pie? Oh my god, that's horrid. 64 pints of Grolsch or Korean barbecue chicken waffle cone. 64 pints of Grolsch is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Hot dog or hot dog meal. Hot dog meal for sure. Dude, that is a dire ass hot dog. Today's special or chips and nuggets. Today's special looks crazy. Chicken and chips or fried chicken with seasoned fries. Ooh, these are both looking really good. I kind of like chicken and chips. Oh, man. It was cheaper. Hot dog or pie, peas, and gravy. I'm going to go with pie, peas, and gravy. Let's go. Slider box deal or 2 Balti pies. Easy slider box. Not close. Drayton Belly Buster or Gyastachus and beer. All right, I'm getting Drayton Belly Buster for sure. Lamb and chicken tikka naans. Don't even need to read the other one. All right. 8 out of 10. Above community average. Let's do Coindle. All right, we fucking suck. And then let's do angle. Ooh, that's a 325. Oh, what am I talking about? That's a 350. Ooh, 346. Got it. The Am I the Asshole one? Am I the asshole for telling my atheist sister my thoughts or prayers are with her sick son? I grew up with an atheist family. My sister's son has been diagnosed with a serious illness. I said my thoughts or prayers are with her son. They're now angry because I said prayers are with them. No, you're not. I love Reddit, man. For leaving the hospital after my wife gave birth to go home and shower to take a nap. She was induced in labor for over 24. A few hours after she had her baby, I went home to shower and nap. She didn't want me to leave, but I needed sleep. I took a long nap. Well, a man did it, so I'm going to say you're not the asshole. Okay, thank God. Am I the asshole for contesting my father's estranged will? No, never. What the fuck? I guess I got them all wrong today. Washed. All right, let's do the Twitter thread. Twitter thread. Oh, why'd you go and say that? Twitter thread. This website was a Twitter thread. Twitter thread. Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka Oh, we got to move this up a little bit. Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and we are back with another Twitter thread. Today we are talking about Nietzsche Chinese effects. What extremely narrow or extremely hard to resolve cards do you love, no matter how garbage they are? And I'm going to begin with my favorite, Wesa Reporto. As a flip, this card destroys all opponents' face-up Swords of Revealing Light on the field. And if a Swords of Revealing Light is destroyed, you can perform your battle phase twice this turn, or your next turn, if it was activated during your opponent's turn. I always wondered if the cloud was a tail. It's covering up his hole. His hole is right under it. You just can't see it. All right, what did you all come up with? Alex has a great one. Behold, Peak. Fusio, Richie, and Great Dizard. Okay, so Great Dizard says, when this monster destroys the following number of monsters as a result of battle, the following effects are activated in order. 1. As long as this card remains face up on the field, negate the activation and effects of all spell and trap cards that target this card and negate them. Ugh. As long as this card remains face up on the field, negate the activation and effects of all spell and trap cards that target this card and destroy them. 2. Special summon a Fusio Richie from your hand or deck by tributing this card during your main phase. Here's Fusio Richie. Can only be special summoned from your hand or deck by tributing a Great Dizard that has fulfilled the condition. You can flip this card into face down defense position once per turn during your main phase, and while it's face up on the field, negate the activation of all spell and trap cards that target this card and destroy them. When this card is flipped face up, you can special a zombie type monster from the graveyard. Why does he do that? Why does he do that? By the way, you know what this guy's name is? Nosferatu Lich. Nosferatu Lich. They were like, yeah, Fusio Richie. Yeah. High Priest Dizard. Dyer's got one. Anti-Kaiju Thunder King. Such a fun concept for a card. I wish it was better. But whenever I can, I'm justifying putting it in my side deck because maybe there will be a Kaiju. I'm doing it. I just think it rocks. During the main phase, you can discard this card, banish a Kaiju you control that is owned by your opponent, then special summon one monster from your graveyard. I guess it, like, brings back the card they Kaiju'd. You can only control a kaiju. This card is unaffected by other kaiju effects. It can't be destroyed by a battle with a kaiju. And during your end phase, if in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. I like that last effect. We tried it in a couple episodes of Saga where you just like bin it and then it comes back. Fuck you, unkaiju's your monster. He's an anti-kaiju. Witch's Strike. Yeah, I mean, this one is almost relevant. It's not that niche. I mean, people have made it work, but yeah, it has received a lot more attention than is necessary because it's generally not great. If your opponent negates a normally special summon of a monster or the activation of a card or effect, destroy all cards your opponent controls and has in their hand. You would think that this card would be better than it is, but it's just not a counter trap is the really hard part of it. It's just not a counter trap. Man, I mean, how many times have we heard that Engraver of the Mark is finally going to be relevant? When your opponent activates a card or effect by declaring exactly one card name, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, declare one other card name. The card name your opponent declared becomes the card name declared by this effect, and then once per turn, you can target a face-up card on the field, destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. It's awesome that it's also Zone Eater. Tonight, you... I'm thinking of the bonus episode they made. What was it you used to say? Tonight, you? We're gonna take him to the vet, and if he's good, maybe we'll go for ice cream. $800 to fix this guy. What are you, 15? I'll just wait for your hips to give out. This card's good. No one does like him. Oh, man. I mean, I'm glad GCD posted this. If there's any card with a weird, strange effect that can accidentally FTK 15 ways from Sunday, it's Yajiro Invader. And if there's any person that can make it happen, it's GCD. How many times has GCD won a table 500? Legitimately, it's got to be like dozens at this point, right? What is it? Black and White Wave. If there is a face-up Xyz monster on the field with a Synchro monster as Xyz material, target a card on the field, banish the target, and if you do, draw a card. Wait, this card fucking rips. This card's kind of fucking bang. Am I playing this in Punk? Yo. Hidden Legem. Your life ends 5 phases from now. I love that they thought this card was so good that they printed it a couple of times. Swordsman from a Distant Land, Zone Eater. Okay, I said a couple of times. That's the only, those are the only times that that's happened, actually. Also, why is he, like, emaciated? What's going on? Wait, is the Distant Land a food desert? Eat some fucking food. Get fatter. Over-the-top boss monsters with incredibly broken effects that activate from the deck when an impossible anime-like moment occurs. Yup! Dark Sage and, of course, Thinian the Great Sphinx, both of which are dog water. Sage goes in every field. That's true. This card is so funny to me because nothing about its design or name has anything to do with Swords of Revealing Light. At least White Hole is like the literal opposite of Dark Hole. Let me actually... Are White Holes real? White Hole. Okay, that was not... Yeah, I was not supposed to search that. I mean, it's what you'd expect. The hoes call it the worst battle fader of all time. Reject Reborn. Card sucks. This shit will never resolve, but big number is extremely funny. Okay, first off, number C1000, the C stands for cunt, it's serving. Numeronius, 5 level 12 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, destroy one other monster on the field. At the end of the battle phase, destroy as many other monsters on the field as possible, then special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard to your field in defense. If destroyed by an opponent's card or effect while it has material and is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon C1000. No, you can special summon number IC1000, Numeronius Numeraunia from your extra deck, and if you do, attach this card to it as material. Of course, this is the man, the rank 13, who can be made with 5 level 13 monsters. If special summoned, it gains 100,000 attack during your opponent's turn. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this card did not battle, you win the duel. I can't put him in the video, man. There is no feeling quite like summoning an Angel of Mischief with 10 materials. Thank you, Lyrilisk, Bird Sanctuary, and Reproducus for your service. I'll have to take your word for it. You couldn't pay me to do this, Altwin. Miserable ass card. Griffin Wing. When your opponent activates Harpy's Feather Duster, negate its effect, and if you do, destroy all spell and traps your opponent controls. This one's fun because it punishes people who would like set their own spell traps and then activate Harpy's Feather Duster. Like, in what scenario is that happening, right? Packet Link. During main phase 2, special summon any number of level 2 or lower monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard to your zone a link monster points to. What? This card is fucking cool. What? You can just put whatever you want on a trap card these days. Bomber Place. I've never heard of this card. Whoa. She's attractive. Once per chain, you can pay 600 life points, then activate one of these effects. If you control 6 monsters with different levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, choose a face a monster your opponent controls with a level, and destroy all other monsters your opponent controls with the same level, rank, or link rating as that partner. Why did I say partner? As that monster. Choose one face a monster you control with a level and destroy all of your opponent's monsters in the same column with the same level, rank, or link rating as that monster. Saw says, if you can manage it, it's theoretically like 13 pops. The first effect can't even clear a board unless your opponent plays into the columns for the second effect. Damn. Okay, I'm going to see if there's Rule 34. If there's here, I don't want it showing up on my history. Bomber Place. Oh my god. Oh no, then no, never mind. This guy is specifically designed to work with Ectoplasmer, okay? Ectoplasmer says, once per turn during each player's end phase, the turn player must tribute a face a monster, and if they do, inflict damage to their opponent equal to half the original attack of the monster. And then this one is, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by the effect of a continuous spell, special summon this card from the graveyard during the standby phase of your turn. Wow. Yeah, it is funny to be like, there are a lot of cards, especially in early Yu-Gi-Oh, that have effects like this, that are just like, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by a continuous trap with 3 vowels in its name and it's a Tuesday, then you get to summon it from the graveyard. But this one's nice because they teach you what you're meant to do with it. I appreciate that for sure. This was the deck Jinzo used in GX? Oh my god. Jinzo was a person in GX? Nah, man. People did this. The extra protection this card gives is so hard to actually pull off in a real game because you need Firestarter on field and not just hand, but I can't help but love the flavor. This card can be used to ritual summon any Libromancer ritual monster, tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. If you ritual summon Libromancer Fireburst with this effect using Firestarter on the field, it cannot be destroyed or banished by card effects. Why the fuck would you ever rank up on top of it? I get the lore at least. Dude, why are his hands so big? This is actually me and Gage. This was when me and Gage fist bumped. How do you resolve this in real life? Do you 1, 2, 3 go? 3, 2, 1 shoot. What if you go 3, 2, 1 shoot and they go on shoot and you go a beat after shoot? What do you do? Why is he touching his hand? Oh. Boop. One of the coolest removal spells ever printed. This card is good. What? I used this card all the time. Dark Flare Knight exists only for Mirage Knight, and Mirage Knight only exists to give no meaning to Dark Flare Knight's sacrifice. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon a Mirage Knight. During damage calculation, this card gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster it was battling. During the end phase of a turn this card attacked or was attacked, banish this card. This card is so bad. Oh my god, man. I mean, obviously, it's an old card. I'm not surprised it's bad, but it is so bad. This card's great. What are you talking about? This card's great. This card has been explained to me like 10 times. Still no closer to understanding it. God, that format where people were playing it was a nightmare because I actually had to do math. I hate it. My answer has got to be question. I just love the cards where this guy shows up. Reversal Quiz, Final Question, and Arc V Anime. This one is just so funny. It restricts a player from being allowed public information, which I think no other card does. When activating this card, your opponent cannot check the cards in the graveyard. Your opponent calls the name of the first monster at the bottom of the graveyard. If they call it right, the monster is removed from play. If they call it wrong, the monster is special summoned to your side of the field. The reply here says, this card being in existence means your opponent is not allowed to change the order of the graveyard. You can call a judge if you see it take place. I'm going to be honest with you. That's not going to go your way. Does anyone have the Jerome? There's a classic Jerome moment, I think actually in the finals of YCS Edison, where Jeff Jones rearranges his graveyard, and the opponent looks at the judge and goes, did you see that? He rearranged the graveyard. I mean, do you think that's worth a warning? And Jerome says something to the degree of, I think you're fishing for a win in the finals of an SJC. Why don't you play the game? Like, I think that I know it's total hearsay, but I heard something like that happened. Ugh. But what if he had it? He didn't have it. They have deck lists. Pyro Clock of Destiny. Move the turn count forward by 1 turn. You know what's crazy is that the things this card does are really funny. All right, here, let's... maybe in tips. It can affect Deck Dev, Eradicator, Planet Pollutant, Harpy Lady 3. Oh, okay. Wait, this card's crazy with Zone Eater. It's the 4th turn after. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I mean, ugh. I think that Ojama Assimilation is fine, but I mean, you all know my history with Arm Dragon Catapult Cannon. Yes, must be special summoned from your extra deck. During a duel, you special summon to both the above cards by banishing the above cards from your field or graveyard. And it does nothing. It has no protection. It just banishes your opponent's board. It's just Dark Hole. Fuck this fucking card, man. You can't even use Fusion Tag for this because of TCG rulings. Is he getting a lobotomy? No. He's getting the, He's getting the two-headed surgery. He's getting one of them removed. The transgender for everyone surgery. Yeah. Transgender surgery for aliens. Boing! Demotion. Downgrade the monster equipped with this card by 2 levels. Is that the only card that says downgrade in it? Wait, that'd be a great Yu-Gi-Oh! Jeopardy question. Hold up, I'm gonna look it up. It's the only downgrade. You are not immune to Tainted Wisdom. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be shuffling my deck. Oh, God. I miss Tainted Wisdom so much. First off, let's check its Forbidden Memories attacks. Gruesome Goo. Attack him. Ugh, does not look good. What the hell? That looks terrible. Alright, let's see his Mercury attack. Bat! Now that's what I expected Tainted Wisdom to do. Some kind of stupid laser shit. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Yeah. 8 months ago? Oh my god! What? When did Tainted Wisdom start uploading again? Uploaded 5 videos a year ago. Did I comment on this? No. He came back! Oh, there's an FTK? Hell yeah. Yeah, this card's not very good. Magical Scientist? Atlantis is so common in these fucking FTKs. Silly. Alright. No, this card's fine. No, this card's funny. This one is not hard to resolve. It's just hard to play under. Convulsion of Nature is another one of those cards where if you show up with it in your list, a judge is legally allowed to kill you. As long as this card remains face up on the field, both players must turn their respective decks upside down and proceed with the current duel. You ready? Here's how I'd rule it, okay? If I was judging and I didn't want to have to deal with this shit, okay. So let's say I've got my deck right here, right? They activate Convulsion of Nature, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll help you resolve it. What? I've never even seen these. Oh, Mazera Deville. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Cannot be special summoned except by tributing Warrior of Zera while Pandemonium is on your side of the field. If Pandemonium is on your side of the field when you special summon this card, your opponent discards 3 random cards from their hand. Well, then how else would it be on the field? If Pandemonium is not on your side of the field, this effect is not applied. That's such a crazy line of text to put on a card. If it's not on the field, well, then don't do it. Who is this? I don't even... His name isn't even there. Oh, this is him with the Sanctuary in the Sky. Okay, I get it. Summer schoolwork successful. What if I told you? I think it's likely you're going to see this card in the coming days. And put that in your brain. Put that in your brain and smoke it. That has to be the end card, Dyer. Ah, no, not this. How many cards did they print that are like, oh, death is coming eventually? How many of these did they print back in the day? Oh my god. Yep. The Time Lord card for sure. Infinite Light. Activate this card by setting a face-up Infinite Machine from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. To activate Infinite Machine, you have to set a different continuous trap to the graveyard. This card can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Neither player can target Time Lords with card effects or return Time Lords from the field to the deck. Once per turn, if you control no monsters, special a Time Lord from your hand, deck, or graveyard with different names, ignoring their summoning conditions. Cool-ass card. This is one of the first cards that really started scratching the ridges in my brain. Inferno Tempest, when you take 3,000 or more battle damage from one attack, you can activate this card, remove all monsters in each player's deck and graveyard from play. Man, unfortunately, it lost its partner in crime in Grinder Golem when Firewall Dragon came out. This card was so tight. You know what? I bet I have a video where I do it.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just taking 3 or 4 ibuprofen for the headache that these games gave me.
Dude, whoever this YouTuber is, they're pretty fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie, that shit is pretty funny.
This is Joseph Rothschild, aka Mono Bluetron, and we're
Wait a minute.
and banish all the monsters from both players' decks. Then you get to banish an additional 10 because of attack, Inferno Tempest, boom. We get 17 cards, so we have to do a little bit of calculation. We get to banish an extra 5, 1 Necroface within our hand. We Dimension Hole to get another 5, and because of my incredibly powerful math skills, I've recognized that flipping DD Dynamite will kill him from 8,000. And it does. What a phenomenal game. What an exciting experience for both players. I'm very happy this occurred.
That's
now,
true.
If you thought that game was fun and interactive, wait until you see this one. We're playing against some kind of 60-card Harpies thing. We've opened Grinder Golem, Inferno Tempest, as always. Key to playing this deck is you really just want to stack your deck so that these 2 cards are on top. We go ahead and fire it off, get half of his deck banished. So here's the problem. Because this guy is playing a very bad 60-card Harpy rank 4 spam build, we actually have less cards in our deck than him, which means that we're not going to be able to deck him out by drawing, and we'll have to actually game somehow. He makes Kidori and sends one of my no entries back to the deck. I'm actually okay with that, I think, because it gets me an extra card in the deck, and now we get to fight over decking out. But I'm also intending to make Friend Maju. I do. and set a couple no entries in pass. He is in Dark Hole mode, and he uses Hysteric Party. At this point, I'm just hoping he doesn't have Cowboy in his extra, and apparently he doesn't. He makes Lightning Kidori and just starts flipping. Here's where the real fun of Yu-Gi-Oh! Happens. This was quite a game. I just draw the same trap every turn for the entire game. We have Allure of Darkness this turn, which is dead, but alive if we draw DDR, so I keep it in my hand. Let me remind you, 13 cards in my deck, 3 are DD Dynamite, 2 are DDR, 3 are Card of Demise, and we keep drawing the Wabokus, we keep drawing the Threatening Roars and the no entries. This is payback for opening Inferno Tempest Grinder Golem so often. So we're doing this. I don't really know what else to say. There's nothing to commentate. We just sit here and look at each other. Another Threatening Roar. Wow, thanks, Konami, for printing the same card 18 times. And here we go. We draw an actually good card. Use Card of Demise, set a couple DD Dynamites, and then kill him in his draw step.
That was good.
So after 2 games of opening perfect, we have finally bricked. I knew it was figure he's just realizes what will both entry, but aside from not solitaire match.
All right. Man, I used to be good at making videos. What happened? Fell off, true. An honest-to-God worse Exodia win condition. Cannot be special summoned. You can tribute 5 monsters to tribute summon this card. Attack and defense become the combined original attack and defense of the tributed monsters. If this card summoned this way destroys a Dark Fiend monster owned by your opponent, you win the duel at the end of the damage step. It's like, why does it have to apply at the end of the damage step? Why does it have to be owned by your opponent? Oh my god. Miserable. This card's been playable a number of times. Would you believe that? Target 3 other face-up spell trap cards and 2 face-up spell trap cards and 3 set spell trap cards on the field. Destroy them. Very, very powerful. I mean, if you recall, this card was pretty powerful against Cleafort when it was back in the metagame in like 2016 for like one format, because they would set scales and then set back row and you'd be like, get fucked, idiot. This one's interesting. They're talking about Zark. Now, there's a way to cheat out Zark, and Zark's actual effect isn't so bad anyway. They're talking about Zark's summon effect through Sork. Did you know this? This says, you can banish this card you control plus 4 monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard, a Pendulum, an Xyz, a Synchro, and a Fusion Dragon. Special summon Zark. Why does he do that? I've never, like... He already has 2 good effects. Why does he do that? I'm not going to read a Renegade Redoer response in fear that he will make another video where he calls me wrong. Although I never revealed non-tuners with Shooting Star Dragon because I used the Dual Link skill. But yeah, this was all I used it for. I love Huge Revolution so much, I have all the cards hanging on my wall. The day I can pull the combo off at locals is the day I can die happy. That's unfortunate. The revolution will come in our lifetime. Just keep telling yourself that. This combo is pissing me off. I'm the original Scar Walker. This card's great. This card's great. This card's great. This card's great. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, a fantastic example. This card can only be special summoned by offering. Petite Moth as a tribute on the 6th of your turns after Petite Moth has been equipped with Cocoon of Evolution. Like, why did they keep printing cards that were like, yeah, just wait 30 minutes. Wait 30 minutes and you can activate this card. And this one is just nothing. 3,500 attack vanilla. This card doesn't have a fucking effect. This is an effectless effect monster. Shouts out to Speed Duel, where this card was broken as shit. Oh yeah. Mischief of the Time God is perfect for this. To play this one, you have to learn how to draw anime. At the start of your battle phase, if all monsters you control are Valkyries, send this card to the graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, skip to the start of the battle phase of your next turn. The uncodable card in Edo. Oh. Spirit of the Pharaoh is a great one. Card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except for the effect of the first sarcophagus. When this card is special summoned, you can special summon 4 level 2 or lower zombie type normal monsters from your graveyard. The first sarcophagus says, place a card face up on your field in this order. The second, the third sarcophagus. If sarcophaguses are removed from your side of the field, they all are sent to the graveyard. When you have 3, send them all to the graveyard to special summon a Spirit of the Pharaoh. It's basically Destiny board, but 2 turns less long. And instead of winning the game, it just makes this guy. Do you guys remember this guy in the anime? His whole deal in the anime was that he was one of the bosses, and they were just shocked at how bad he was, and it turned out all of his minions had been hyping him up because they were afraid of seeing him get angry when he realized he was fucking bad. So he was like, I've never lost, entered a duel, got fucking butt blasted, and he was like, oh, I guess my deck sucks. The MBT of the anime. Listen, if Doug actually might be throwing against me, that would explain it. Okay, yeah, this is a good one. You're seeing Albion, you're going, what the fuck? Albion's in every branded game. What the fuck you guys know about diamonds? If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 4 monsters, the 2 in the extra monster zone, and the 2 in the central main monster zone. And if you do, special summon this card. It's the diamond. It's the diamond from the Dogmatica symbol. You can bring him out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do what I can. I think this is enough of them. Oh, I was obsessed with this card as a kid. You can only activate this card when there's 5 level 2 or lower normal monsters on your side of the field. Both players discard all cards in their hand, destroy all cards in the field except level 2 or lower normal monsters. Awesome fucking card. Not playable at all. Let's see if do I actually have... No, but remember the Law of the Normal dual avatar deck. There's a lot of cards. There's a lot of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That we'll never see play. I'm happy that as a community, we can all obsess around. I don't know how I'm going to finish this. How am I going to finish this one? With 15,000 cards in Yu-Gi-Oh!, obviously there are going to be some effects that never resolve. I hope you can help me make it my personal mission to ensure the Weather Report triggers once in its lifetime. See you next week. Cosmic Sucker. Sorry, Waking the Dragon wasn't a good answer. I've lost a lot to Waking the Dragon is the problem. All right, let me, okay, Jillian needs me to end a little early today, so we're going to skip to Isaac now. All right. So that's going to be it when it comes to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Portion of the stream. If you stuck around to the very bitter end, I really appreciate you. If you like what you see, feel free to follow the stream. If you really like what you see, I'd like your money. On Wednesdays, we like to cool down with a little bit of variety. We're going to do just a short little Isaac run. We playing with Danny today? We are not. Now, unfortunately for all of you, I did finish another character, and it was interesting. Can a mod change the tag? Oh. So I both finished all the challenges and finished off Tainted Eden. Tainted Eden's a lot of fun. I figure we'll just do some Lost runs, and then when we inevitably fail, you know what? Let's just do an Eden run. Let's just do an Eden run. I don't want to complicate things. Let's just do an Eden run. You know how it is. We'll hop on Eden. Leading Abyss? I could lead Abyss. Abyss is a fun one. Oh, and we have a Sharp Plug as well. These are 2 bangers. This room is not a banger. This room was invented by Hitler. All right, we are back. Oh my God, stop. You know what? Fuck this. I'm not playing this run. No. Neptunus? No. No. I'm just going to hit R a whole bunch. All right. It's me, Hihachi. Our damage is so bad, though. All right, I'm running it back. Don't worry, I'm going to find what I'm excited about. I'm pretty excited about this one. Pluto? I'm going to get one with like a really fun starting item. Backstabber is really strong. Ludo. Ugh. Mom's bra. Ugh. What the fuck? D8. Ugh. D8 whore? I'll play D8 whore. Let's go. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good today. Let's do a little bit of a call and response, all right? What I like doing, we're going to do some Matman style call and response. So I'm going to say something like, how was your day? And then you're all going to respond. And that's going to be, it's two-way parasociality, okay? A fantastic item in the first room, by the way. All right. How was your day? Yippee. Okay, that's not really helpful. Good. Okay, that's all right. How was your day? Terrible. I fucking hated it. It was all right. What's the other thing people talk about? Are you excited for any of the new video games announced at the Video Game Awards? No. All right, I'm getting a lot of no's here. You guys aren't excited for the Overwatch clone? It was awesome that they were like, we put up a secret little item in the desert, and you're going to have to figure out what it is. And people were like, it's Divinity. And it was like, okay, it's Divinity. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're so excited for the new Divinity. Will you be excited when we announce that it's made by an AI? That's, like, really cool. Also, here's the Divinity Orgy. We love AI. I was watching that, and maybe I'm becoming... That is... Okay, we are never hitting D8 again. 7 damage? Are you kidding me? That one was kind of weird for me, because I was watching it and thinking to myself, I'm like, am I becoming a prude? I was like, they really shouldn't be doing this at a show that there are children present. Like, I really was like... There's so much blood, and there's so much sex, like... What if a little kid wants to watch Sonic the Hedgehog game? I don't know. Maybe I am getting prudish. A lot of gore this year. There was so much gore. Okay, well, I hate seeing this guy, but BFFs makes the pain a little less bad. Ooh, I got you with the bean. The bean kicked in, as it were. This is one of my vocal stims, by the way, is going, hey. I do it to Jillian all the time. She does it all the time, too. Did you see the stuff about Larian's hiring practices? No, what'd they do? 12 interviews, take-home exam, no job? Honestly, like, I'm sorry, like, that you all think you couldn't hack that. Me, I'm a little different. I would be able to do it. And they would hire me on the spot because, I don't know. The Larian games strike me as, and let me know if this hits home for you all as well, the sort of Reddit woke that I kind of despise, you know? That might be unfair to them. I'm sure their games are fine, but I watch them and I'm like, I get it. You know, you watch podcasts about D&D. I understand what's going on. Dating sim for people who aren't weebs. Reddit dating sim. Okay, well, the Reddit dating sim is date everything. The Reddit dating sim is Dream Daddy, where you can date a like a gay guy, but in a non-threatening way. Hell, if you want that, just watch this. Fuck me. I wish I had a heart. The Reddit dating sim is Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah. No, DDLC is the 4chan dating sim because it's actually like really deep. It's actually like, I know you would think it's like really like tropey and shitty, but it's actually like really deep and important when you actually think about it. I got a lot of heat back in the day for saying that Doki Doki Literature Club was kind of shitty. I was like, this is like just a bad, like they were like, no, but you don't get it. I'm like, no, I get what they're doing. I understand the bit. I just don't think it's particularly impressive or interesting. No, but like they fuck with your game. Yep, I've played fucking Undertale. They do it in that. That's how far behind we are on DDLC. Whoa. Something in the game impacts the real world. Could you imagine something like that? Baby's first meta narrative. What if, oh shit, that's crazy. I also like it suffers from the thing that the yeah, okay, so I don't want that. The anti-JRPG crowd does, where they're like, it's a visual novel, but unlike other ones, it's like really meaningful and tells a deep story. And I'm like, okay, thanks, dude. It's not like those other silly ones that just do nothing. I hate this goddamn room. Okay, surely I don't actually need to go in there. That's where the boss is. I'm speaking in the secret red text that only Monica can use. God damn, I'm bad at this room. At some point, I'm going to have to look inward. Can we get a key? All right, I guess we're going planetariums. Can you give me a key? Bombs are key? Bombs are key would go pretty crazy here. Ace of Hearts, the Sun, the Lovers, the Stars. Stars gets me into the treasure room. I'm in. Yup. That's why we fucking go to the treasure room. Fuck a planetarium. All right, we're in. We're in. This is Te-Earn. We are outrunning our own tears, but this is Te-Earn. Not gonna lie, DDLC would have been more interesting if Monica wasn't attracted to the player, but rather the avatar. I think it would have been more interesting if Monica was a man. And she said, "We have to have gay sex." That was my dream for that franchise. No, I think we get it. You're fake gay. Yeah. Would you guys watch my playthrough of Dream Daddy? No, I'm not gay. I'm bisexual, but I married a woman, so I made my choice, you know. And it is a choice. I do want to make it clear. Dude, this is like ooh, XL floor? Ooh, I kind of wanted to go Beast, but now I kind of want to go Hush. Go Hush. XL floors put you way on the path for Hush. Fuck it. Maybe we'll do both. We are getting a lot of soul hearts. I'm not complaining. Hit with that Fatty Eve mascara tier. Ooh, Chariot actually probably matters more than Sun. All right. These hoes is my Sun card. John and Kate, +8. Wait, that's really funny. Wait a minute. You guys seen what's happening with Nicki Minaj, by the way? She's like big into Trump. She's like, I do like the people who are shocked by it. They're like, I was a Nicki Minaj fan until now. It's like, you were? Do you know what's been happening for the last several years? It's not good. Nicki hasn't been having a good go of it. All right, fuck it. I'm going over here. I'll finish the room. fragment, bullet fragment, bitch. I love the. Oh man, it's the Megan stuff with Nikki. I know no one in this fucking chat cares about this. I'm the only guy who cares about this shit in this chat. But it's so funny because man, Megan Thee Stallion is just. As someone who grew up when Nicki Minaj was first coming up, it was like there was all this promise and everyone was like, she's gonna be the one. That's like the first female rapper that makes it out. And then she just wasn't. She just never capitalized on it. And then Megan Thee Stallion did. And now it just comes off as this jealousy. Okay, I'm fucking apparently too bad at this game to do this. Says Hush, spends 5 years vomiting into a chest. All right, could mods just kill that guy? Dude, I hate this fucking room. She bullies any female rapper that gets close. Yeah, because if she encounters another female rapper, it becomes immediately clear that she doesn't have what it takes. She can't crack it with the big girls. Oh, there's the key. We'll come back for it. There's the keys. Fragment, bullet fragment. The Megan's bar line is so insane. It's so good that when I saw the Gavin Newsom post where he referenced it, I was like, damn, even this piece of shit, I'm happy to see him do this. Shouts out to the mean gay who's running Gavin Newsom's account. I mean, you are going to go to hell for running Gavin Newsom's account, but like, you know, it'll be a less giga hell than every one of the rest of us is going to. We're all going to hell for the same reasons. What's your take on Jared Leto? Did you watch Tron Ares? Dog, did I watch Tron Ares? You know my ass was first in line to watch Tron Ares. I consider myself a Tron super fan. When Jeff Bridges said that Tron really tied the room together, I loved it. I was Troning in the theater. You could even call me a transgender. That's too far. I'm being stupid now. We're just talking. We're just yapping. We're just having a good time. No, I did not watch Tron Ares. No one did. I know the box office. It was like $35. Why is Jared Leto still getting work? That's my question. Like, he's bad in everything. And it's like, but don't worry, he's also a rapist. It's like, no, dude. I know. He's bad in everything. But here's the trade-off, is that he's a rapist. Oh, okay, then. Johnny Depp, people go, okay, like, did he do all this terrible stuff? Yeah, for sure. But, like, you can't deny he's an incredibly good actor. And sometimes, you know, we have to make compromises Jared Leto, it's like, no, he's like as bad. He's not good at all. No, not remotely. The Twitter post that I love always is he starts at 18 on the internet. That one is unbelievable. Oh, fuck you. I think a lot about I think it's an Onion article or something. Maybe it's a hard drive where they're talking about like Jared Leto doing method acting to do Joker in order to do Heath Ledger's Memory Proud or whatever. And it's just all the cast members being like, yeah, he's really getting on our fucking nerves. And then what I think about all the time is they're like, yeah, he sent us like a condom in the mailbox. And then he hosted something he called Dark Thanksgiving. And he made all these like weird dishes and they were like inedible. And then he would put like stickers on the bowls that said like Africa. I think it was supposed to maybe be like a discussion about like hunger or something, but he just didn't get it enough to make a coherent. It was so funny. No effect on BFFs, then why did I take BFFs? Wait, there is an effect. They're huge. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm never going to kill this guy because by the time he gets up, Eve's mascara isn't going to do shit. Okay, Come Piss I think is probably better than this other one here. I should go hunt for the super secret, and I will. No, I know where the super secret is. It's off in no man's land, and I gotta get to Hush. Remember, we're doing Hush. That's still on. This is a good fight. Dude, my range is PP bad. Good fight. I'll take Coat Hanger. Great item. Yeah, baby. Oh, we got golden bombs. I'm gonna make a mockery out of this guy. Make a Colin mockery out of this guy. Whose line is it anyway? Oh, I didn't even drop one. There we go. We didn't get Angel out of that? Go to hell. Whew, boy, I don't actually want any of these. Okay, well, moving on. Ooh, throw in the sack room if you insist. Speaking of potentially PP bad, do you watch The Amazing Digital Circus? I don't. It's kind of for babies, right? I think I'm just a little too old for Digital Circus. I think if I was like 21 or 25, I would really like it. But as is, I'm like, it's just a little too old for me. I'm glad that it exists. It seems like people enjoy it a lot. It's one of those things where like I'm actually really happy that a lot of, oh my god, am I bad at this game? A lot of like online indie internet animation is really taking off. I think that's fantastic. I think it's really good for the medium. I'm super happy that people have stuff to watch that is independently produced. I don't really feel a desire to watch Amazing Digital Circus or Hell of a Boss or anything like that. I'm like, it's just not for me. I'm happy it exists. I think people can find meaning in it. It's just not for me. The only thing I watch is like ironically bad TikToks. And then people go, have you ever tried watching like a good movie? And I go, no. Okay, well, the game is now over. Yeah, I'm dumb as fuck. How much money you gonna give me, bitch? Fragment, bullet fragment, bitch. Yep. I should spawn the angel room first. But we'll come back for this. Don't let me forget Mr. Chaos. Fuck me. I may just die is the problem. I am pretty low. I would like some health, please. This character can get health, right? Please tell me if you liked Gungeon. I didn't. I played it. It was alright. You know what game I can never get all the way into, but like during like 1 month of the year, I'll get crazy into it. I'll play it for like 10 hours straight, and then I will not play it for the rest of the year. Cult of the Lamb. I love Daddy Longlegs. Daddy Longlegs, it's awesome. Did you watch Adventure Time and regular show, or were they past your prime? Adventure Time was during my prime, but it was on for so long. I think I stopped watching it like Islands, if that makes sense. And regular show I watched probably the first 2 seasons of. Ah. Dude, thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. The fuck? I did see the Smiling Friends Wonky Quartet art. I thought it was awesome. I showed it to the rest of them. They thought it was awesome. But they don't really watch TV. Farfa is a very interesting person. Doug watches movies all the time, right? He's like a big movie guy. And Gage hangs out with his mom and watches like movies and shit too. Farfa just like doesn't know any cultural markers at all. I'll try and talk to him about like Breaking Bad, and he's like, what got broken? What are you talking about? He like doesn't know TV exists. He hasn't watched a movie in a decade. It's very strange. So I'm trying to talk to him about Smiling Friends, and I'm like, no. So it's like an internet animator. Please don't do Brim. Fuck me. I'm gonna die. I'm actually gonna die. Damn. I guess I'll take Seraphim. I mean, with BFFs, this is gonna be crazy. The fuck, I need soul hearts. Or I need hearts. No angel fight? No need, I don't think. Dude, is Daddy Longlegs getting busted by BFFs? That's got to be like balls, please. Balls? Relax. Please, can we get some hearts? Fuck my gay asshole. All right, certainly not there. Oh, we can chariot that. It's probably worth. Nope, was not worth. I guess we needed the keys. A little worth. All right, Chaos. Save me, Chaos. I'm going to hit it. Oh my god, that was so close. Fuck my low speed. Should I do this? Surely. Nah, nothing. Ah! I knew that was gonna happen. 1 HP. Fuck my butthole. The Magician's good. Alright. My choking streamer. I just haven't really gotten any health. Like, even 1 HP up would unlock this whole thing. I could die right here. Okay, thankfully I didn't. But it could have happened. I'm gonna start getting greedy with skulls. Nope. Secret room? Okay. Mush. One time for the one time? Okay. Be health up. It is? Okay. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. Is there any way to get there? There isn't. I need flight. Why aren't you grabbing any of the hearts you walk past? Sure. So, before just now, I didn't have an empty heart container. And I could only pick up blue hearts, which are soul hearts. Now I can pick up the red hearts. I am so slow. I need speed ups and I need health ups. While I would like to go Hush, like at present, we are not strong enough to beat Hush. We will have to go up just to continue our run. Okay. This could go one of two ways. Why did I come in here? I know that there's nothing in here for me. Oh, I got to talk a little bit about some stuff I did today. I went to the mall. I did some of my Christmas shopping for Jillian. I think Jillian, what she really wants for Christmas is just some time away from the fucking baby. Maybe I will literally make her one of those gay-ass little coupon books. It's like, you know, a hug from daddy or whatever, but it's like an hour away from the goddamn baby. Oh, hello. Okay, I'm actually going to try and pay out this guy because he pays out in health ups usually. Let's go. Okay, we are like totally back in this game. Oh, I hate this room. This room's so fucked. But I also... Yep. Oh, come on. I also made her, or I also got her a bunch of other stuff that I think she's really going to like. And I have to get some more stuff offline. Ugh. It's so hard being me. I take pride in gift giving. It's one of the things I really like doing. And this year, Jillian has just not... Jillian doesn't really like surprises. And she has been very forthcoming about what she wants. And I'm like, okay, but then it's not interesting if I get it for you. Woe is me. I want to try that challenge room. Ooh, okay. All right. Hold up. Horns? Yeah, that's not bad. I'm hoping for something crazy in here. We, of course, have chaos, so any room can be disastrously cool. Of course. I'm actually going to do this. I just don't want to have to deal with it on backtrack. More health. I will take more health, honestly. Hey, we are getting back in. This has been a very productive floor so far. Evil room. Oh, hello. Okay. All right. Hearts, etc. Ooh, 2 hearts in here? That's pretty nice. Kill this guy. Moving on. Moving on. I'll run it, yeah. Nope. Fuck you. This is a really weird floor. Don't like it. There's the Fool. I don't think I want the Fool. I could get the Fool for the Polaroid and then go pay out the machine. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, first up, let's do Mom. I mean, we are pretty strong. I will say, you know, despite the fact that I'm whining about our lack of health, we are quite strong. We could have farmed deal chance a little better. I keep thinking Mom is about to put her foot down, but it's just Daddy Longlegs. Like, there's a shadow right over me. It's fucking Daddy Longlegs. Oh, damn it. Oh, last second. Polaroid, fool out. Okay, let's go in here first. Nothing. Awesome. Oh, come on. I took a random pip of damage. Okay, we're down to 1. So now we hop into the boss challenge. Hola, Tornado. I'll take Little Chest. Little Chest is crazy. Loki. I'm Loki. I'm Loki goated with a sauce is what I am. Oh my god, that could have killed me. Wow, that was not good. The gate. This is like... Oh! Oh god, I forgot I have horror. Oh, we could die here. But you didn't. Okay, so I was going to try and pay out that, machine. I am not going to do that. I am just going to keep moving. Death. Okay, do we want to try and find the secret room? We only have 1 bomb. We probably know where it is, right? God, we are so slow. That is such a problem. Okay, well, good to get this out of the way. Right? There is a half heart in the sack room. I think I'll be fine. Difference between a full heart and a sack heart, of course, stops mattering right now. Whoa. I mean, we're getting there. It's just... We're not broken. We're really slow. Our damage is good, but not great. We have BFFs going for us. We have a bunch of orbitals, but that's really it. I feel bad for taking Polaroid. Maybe we should have like min-maxed Polaroid better. Could have gotten us into a position where like... Ooh, hello. Sure. We're able to get the blood bags, which are speed and health, which is everything we're missing. There's no way to dodge that guy. Fuck. Okay, I thought that would be the direction. Wow, this is an awful room. Another room designed by interim designer Hitler. I need all this shit, too. God, and we're so slow we have to wait every time. I'm waiting for keys. We don't need no keys. Whoop. What are we hoping for? Like a... Book of Rev would be crazy. Satanic would be crazy. Bible would save us the mom fight. We could maybe get out of this. Are they books because of chaos? No, probably not, right? That's nice. That's cute that we got that. Well, these are all really good items, so I will just take 3 items. That's fine with me. Would a redemption deck save the run? God, it would. Any big changes for next year? That's a good question. You mean in terms of content? Yeah, I have 2 really big changes with respect to stuff I will be producing that I think you all are really going to like. And I now have a lot more time than I've had in previous years because I'm no longer in school. So I'm going to aim to use that to put some really cool stuff out. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Variety only? Yeah, we're only going to do variety. One of these days I will nut up and just thank you, Daddy. Did we get no hearts, by the way? No hearts the entire floor. Blasto suck. Blasto fuck. Oh my god. For sure thought we were going to get hit off that. No, this year we still have a couple of things I want to do. The Vrains essay is coming out this year. I have to finish writing it tonight of all. How did I not get hit? Someone's looking out for me, baby. And it's Daddy Longlegs. Keeper's sack, dude, right on time, right after we lost all of our ability to get any shops. Okay, this arcade is going to have to do a lot of fucking work for us, I'll tell you that. You know, it could. It could. Wonder what those are. Okay, well, I'm not going to get to them, so. Daddy. Daddy, thank you. Awesome room. Okay, we can sneak past it. Super Lust. Does this give us virus? No. Eve's Birdfoot. Shot speed down. Oh my god, my shot speed's already so low. I don't know, man. This isn't looking good. Oh, this is an awful. It's fucking. Full ass room. Woo! That's the tough one to get through. Strength, that is not bad. Okay. Daddy, thank you. Can we get a fucking heart? Oh, I'm seeing hearts. Okay, and I just stepped on a dirty trail. There's half a heart. There's a full heart. All right, I mean, there's a heart. We can strength for a third heart. Daddy, Daddy, thank you. Thank you, Daddy. Oh, God. Viz room. Not a lot you can do about getting just vizzed from Kingdom Come. Damn, are we running through it this quick? All right, I'll try it out. This is not looking good, I'll tell you that. I'm still so slow. Should I be full clearing, I wonder? Oh, Jesus. We are gonna die to Mom. We didn't. There's Hush. I mean, there's just no way we Hush, right? We go to Hush, we're just dying. Yeah, we're totally fucked. We're still probably fucked here. We get 1 hit. We get 0 hits. We get half a hit. That's not a hit. Okay. Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Guppy. Thank you, Gupperton. We lived. We lived. Maybe one of these will be easier. God, we're so slow. The speed is what's killing me here, baby. Can D8 re-roll your, We need to start D8ing. Okay, we got way more speed. Our shot speed went even further down. I'm surprised to see that. I didn't know that could happen. But our damage went up. Give me a heart. No. How about here? Oh, it's War. From the Horseman. Hey, War. You know, hilariously, this is a pretty easy encounter for us. Doorstop. I'll take it. Oh, it's Mega Fatty. From Mega Fatty. Try not to get hit when he jumps. All right. Again, no hearts. Would kill for a heart here. Oh, God. Fucking dickheads. No hearts. Thank you, little chest. That actually doesn't do anything because we take a heart. Oh, my God. Hoo, 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 hoo. I think we're just trying to get to the chest. I think it's a chest saves all runs moment. If we could just get hearts. Health up? An empty health container. Thank you. We please get hearts. Just healing. Any healing at all. Oh, God. Jesus. No mood for Monstro. Dead again. Oh, man. What a rough one. Terrible run. Really frustrating. Ugh, I feel like we got, like, no hearts ever. Oh, well. You win some, you lose some. Again? No, not again. I'm heading out. Thank you all for sticking around till the very bitter end. I appreciate you. If you like what you see, go ahead and slap a Tron a follow on. I'm going to hand you over to Leah Asimov, who is playing, I believe, Nikke? Yeah, she's playing Nikke. Goodbye. Good night. Good night.